Yeah, that's the mantra I wrote.
Welcome as always, good people. Another episode of Bruce Leroy Bar Report, episode 5 to be exact. And we have Miss Lauren, poet, painter, extraordinaire, whatever lane you want to put her in. She does a lot for not only herself but for the community as well. And it's a pleasure as always to have you on here, for sure. It's due time.
Grateful to be here.
Absolutely. Well, we got it done, so we manifested it. I always start off when we start the interviews, just give a little backstory of yourself, how you kind of got into painting, how it inspired you anyway. So it's kind of a two-part question, but just give the people a little bit about you when we get started.
Well, my name's Lauren Steinhofer. That's so German, so German. And apparently I come from a long lineage of ditch diggers. So I guess Steinhofer means like stone yard or something like that. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. I could be talking out of my ass. But I paint. I used to say I started painting after my mom died, but I mean, reflecting back on that now, I mean, it definitely put it in hyperdrive, but I've always done something creative. Okay. Whether it was just like creating my own like alien comics. That was like my thing when I was little. I had like little aliens that I came up with, and then they all had their own catchphrase. Okay. And then I would make like tiny comic strips, and I would write songs, but they were not very good.
But to you, it was something that was dope, and it's something that you were creating. So
yeah,
at
definitely.
the end of the day, it is dope, and it's just because you didn't think it. If you might have put that out, it might have been something that somebody else thought was dope as well.
Yeah, right.
For sure. Yeah. So you were saying, you were basically saying like your mom in a way helped inspire your art, or was it before? And RIP to your mom, but the passing of her, was it more so that sparked it, or was it before that kind of played a part with your art?
I mean, that definitely ignited it. It was like putting like fuel to the fire. Yeah, fuel to the fire for sure, because I needed it. It was very therapeutic for me, and it was a way for me to say what I needed to say without actually saying it, because even though I write poetry, it's kind of hard for me to find the words sometimes,
Right.
And even when I do write, it takes me a really long time, because I'm an overthinker. So I'll like say something, and then I'll be like, man, that could be interpreted this way, but that's not what I'm trying to say. So like, let me rethink that and then write it this way. And then by the end of the day, I fill notebooks up like nobody's business. I don't like writing on my phone. I gotta have like pen to paper. I'm very tactile person.
Old school way, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Which it's crazy, because I remember someone, I forget where I was, but they were like, I was writing, and they were like, man, I haven't written in a notebook in like years. And I was like, maybe you should,
Did it spark you to do it again though? Did that spark you to like start doing more poetry, or are you kind of like in a slow lane with it still?
Man, I just had a show called The Persistence of Being. It was like, what day was it? The 5th.
Okay.
It was like, and I had this poem memorized. I still have this poem memorized, and I was gonna recite it, but like, spoken word is so heavy, and it's like when you're in this space and everyone's having a good time, and like, there's a very like, you're operating on a high frequency, and then you want to start talking about some like really heavy stuff. It's like, I don't know. I'm gonna wait.
Almost rethinking in a way. Like,
yeah, I mean, Tony was there, and he was like, well, you read The Room, and it like made me feel good about it. Then I was like, wait, why am I good at reading The Room? And then I'm like, oh man, that's like childhood trauma, No, I'm just kidding.
But that's cool. So you would say poetry is your second passion, and painting is more your lane now then?
Yeah, painting is the primary, poetry is secondary, and then we get into tertiary colors or whatever, and I feel like that would be the installation, which is like the stages for yart and things like that,
And that's another thing I wanted to touch on too. I know art is in the word yart, but what is more so yart? What is it?
What is yart?
What's yart?
Yart is an experience. It changes locations every year and moves from different parts of the city, which wasn't the intent when it first started, because it was just me in my backyard, and I wanted to have a show because there's not a lot of opportunities to show in South Bend. I mean, there's a few restaurants and like bars and things like that, but a lot of them aren't all ages, which Yurt is always all ages, and a lot of times like those places are closed when people in the industry would want to attend the event, which is why it's always on a Sunday. Okay. And I'm not religious, but there's something very special about Sundays.
Absolutely.
And so that kind of adds to the vibe as well. But all together, Yurt is it's a collective, not only of musicians, but of visual artists. And it's a chance to experiment, you know, like there aren't a lot of rules, and it's a way to like walk on the tightrope of possibility, you know. I mean, I'm thinking back like to this past year. There was the Diggins family hosted us, and they are so incredible. And I feel bad that the moon is still in the yard, and I got to get a U-Haul to get that thing out of there. But we found a trampoline frame in the yard, and then I was like, "That's a moon." And everyone's like, "Why not?" "No, it's not. That's not gonna work." And I was like, "It's gonna work. It's so gonna work." And then,
and lo and behold, it probably over exceeded a lot of people's expectations.
I would say so, you know. Yeah. And then it was crazy because like Toast, he ran the sound for the moon stage at Yurt this past year, and
Toast.
Yeah, Toast, hell yeah, Toast of the Holidays this Sunday. I don't know if this is about to air before then, but yes. Potawatomi Conservatory, 4 to 10, plugging it. But yeah, he was like, "Oh, I just got these lights," and I was like, "Okay, cool. I got it lit with black lights." And he was like, "Well, let me just bring them and we'll see what it looked like." Lit up all the trees and everything. It was crazy. The things that we didn't even expect, but other people brought to the table, and then it just added, you know.
So that's how it should be, for sure. Like,
yeah, definitely.
Not like I said, not only exceeding your expectations, but the expectations of everyone else as well. So it worked out perfect. Absolutely.
Definitely.
Let's get into what type of music you vibe out to when it comes to making your art. What do you like to listen to? Because I know some people might not, but I'm just asking in a general question, like, do you put on music and vibe out to music when you're creating art?
Oh yeah, I am notorious for putting one song on repeat for like 9 hours.
What would that one song be?
Oh, well, this past year it was Odie. It was called Phenomenon.
That's new to me. I've never heard of.
It's like all caps ODIE. It would like fall in the lane of like, I would say like Frank Ocean and nice. I mean, I think Isaiah Rashad is like a little far off, but like that's definitely all in the pocket.
Okay, cool. Definitely.
Yeah, then the House is Burning. I had that whole album on repeat. Isaiah Rashad's new album.
Fire album.
Yeah.
For sure. From
oh my God. We were in Chicago and saw him live, and it was crazy. Yeah. It was crazy.
So you got to have that experience sometimes too. Like it's great to hear the music. Like every Friday you might get that House is Burning, but to be there and experience him making the music and him sharing the music with everyone else, it's like, man, I know that's a dope moment.
Yeah, definitely. For sure. It adds so much to like when you do go back and you listen to it when you're not hearing it live, you know? Yeah.
Because it almost like paints a picture, like having the visual, like seeing him actually performing as opposed to just pulling up your phone and, having headphones in. I'm like, okay, this is great music, but if I was at the concert, and I might be a different experience.
Man, when I'm in the studio, I try to get as close to a concert experience as I possibly can. Like, I'm so glad my neighbors live pretty far away from me, because I just blare it. And then I always have my door open.
And see, that's my thing too. Like, I don't do enough concerts, and I want to experience that concert feel more. With it being a pandemic and this, that, the other, it's kind of hard to maneuver as we do now. But
yeah, no, really though. That's why I went so hard this past year. Cause I feel like I seek out shows around here. Like a lot of people just hit me up and they're like, "So when's the next show?" And I'm like, "Okay, well, there's this one happening at Dodge. There's this one happening at Rocky Button. There's this one happening at McCormick's." And it's like on this day, on this day, on this day. So like I try to keep up with all that. And then after all of that went away during COVID, I was like, "Oh my God, I'm going to every festival."
There it is.
So so I ended up going to Lollapalooza and seeing Tyler the Creator, and then And then Isaiah Rashad, Future Islands, you know, Japanese Breakfast, all in like a span of like 3 months. So it gave me a greater appreciation. Yeah. And I feel like that's why Yart kind of took off this past year too, is because like everyone was like fiending for it, you know?
Yeah, it's a good thing. I didn't get a chance to go to any of it, or haven't been to any of your shows yet, but just the vibe I get from like the post or the people sharing or you talking about it, it lets me know that you're doing something right for sure.
Oh, so, man, well, I appreciate that.
Of course.
You gotta come to the next Yart.
I absolutely, definitely. Any show you have coming up, the next one I'll be at.
Okay,
and you hear this
I don't even know when that'll be.
Well, whenever it is, I'll be there for sure. Let's get into the upcoming mural you have at Vinyl Tap and Table.
Oh, yeah.
I know they open downtown Mishawaka. I think it said like next month. So I know you have a mural in there, and I saw the picture where I think you painted it maybe this year. Or
I did, yeah.
Where it's a collective of artists, where it's pretty dope to see. So
all musicians, yeah.
Talk about how that came into play with you.
Honestly, social media is crazy. It's like such a valuable and necessary evil, I guess. A valuable tool and a necessary evil. But Sean, who is like one of the partners who opened it up, he had been following me on Instagram and he just hit me up, and then like within the next week I was over there painting. Nice. I was very geeked. Ooh, I was on scaffolding for the first time, and they had like these hanging lights, and I actually took out a light, and I felt so bad. I was like, I'll fix it for you, man. Like, but he was super cool. He was super cool about it.
See, and that's dope. So that's, like I said, that's gonna be January, February.
Yeah, I think early January.
As soon as they open up.
I'm pretty sure.
I was reading. It was more so like when I was reading the story about it. It was more so like we don't want to just go that one artist feel. We want to have a collective of artists, and you captured that for sure. That painting or mural. I don't know if it's two different lanes when it comes to it, like saying a painting or mural.
Tomato.
But it's like I said, it's a collective where you could tell you took a lot of pride and time into that for sure. So
I did. I think I did that in like 5 days.
Nice. The whole
thing. I paint really fast.
But it's more. You can see it's not just like you just saying, "Oh, I'm just throwing a paintbrush on here." You actually take your time and work. Like your craft is. It goes on show for sure. Like you do a great job at it.
I'm starting to look at it as almost like an electrician.
Okay.
Like it can be very daunting. Mm-hmm. If you don't know what you're doing, but like once you learn the tricks to the trade, everything kind of goes fluid and the lights come on real easy.
Gotcha. It makes sense. It's something you have to put 110% into, and the fact that you've been doing these shows, you've been previewing your art and doing commissions on them and this, that, and the other. Just like your lane, you already know what you want to do with. You kind of know what you want to do with your life, and this painting thing it adds to it greatly. So. For sure.
Thank you. That's. I'm glad you have that confidence in me.
No, it's the thing I see because I'm more so like I have no art in my house, none whatsoever.
Man, we gotta change that.
And we talked earlier this year, and I was supposed to get a painting from you, which didn't go through. Man. But I know you have plenty more in the works.
I do.
That'll come up later. But I just wanted to get more into art, and you in this city, it's like there's not too many painters, artists. Whatever you want to call it, that put their all into it like you do. So it's one of those things where it's like, if I'm going to get some art, I'm getting some art from Lauren. So absolutely, for sure.
Gassing me up.
Hey, you do great. You do a great job at it. So keep going.
Thank you.
What are 3 essentials you need when it comes to? I know we talked about the music, but 3 essentials you need other than the general, the paintbrushes. What are 3 essentials you need in your studio, in your space? While you're creating art.
Ooh.
It could be food, it could be a drink, it could be a nice movie to throw on to get you motivated, whatever you.
I'm going way deeper than that.
Okay.
Honestly, time, not just to get it done, but to like actually think through and process kind of like poetry, like I think that, I write on my walls like reminders that I'm trying to live by, and one that's very faint that I don't really want people to be able to see when I post pictures and stuff on social media is like the metaphor of the poem is the piece. So like a lot of the paintings that I've been doing, they are very metaphorical and they are pretty conceptual, and that's just an extension of myself. So like an essential is to actually give myself time to process and figure out how I want to represent what I'm trying to say in the piece.
Of course.
So time, yeah, definitely one.
Okay.
And then low-key, I'll go less deep and say coffee.
Coffee.
Coffee. Yeah, coffee. Oh, what's BJ's song? It's
coffee time 7.
Yeah, coffee time 7.
coffee. Yeah.
Yeah, coffee.
For sure.
Yeah, no, yeah. Every time I drink coffee, I think of that song now.
Every time I've mentioned that to somebody, they're like, yeah, I drink.
Catchy.
It's like an upbeat. It's so upbeat, and it's like coffee. It's coffee.
That's so his energy too.
Oh, for sure. Shout out to BJ, man.
Man, he's like the nicest dude. I remember I went into Lang Lab and he got coffee from Zen, and he was like, "Hey, I'm listening to you on Spotify right now," and I was like, "What?" Or on SoundCloud right now, and I was like, people listen to that? I was like, I'm too soft. Please, nobody go listen to it right now. I'm about to take it off after this interview.
Oh, see?
But I was like, people actually listen to that? You know, that's crazy.
So you're a singer too?
No.
Okay.
No.
It was more so experimental.
I'm like a huge Kid Cudi fan, and I found this beat off YouTube that definitely, I mean, they sampled it. And I was like, I feel this. And then...
Did you got the notebook and a pen out?
Yeah,
is that your process with writing too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because some people go off the top of the head and be let me just freestyle it.
No.
So we going back to the notebook and pen.
You know, I used to do that just for fun, just for kicks.
Right.
You know? And then now I get two in my head and I'm like, I'm not talking.
I think everybody had a phase like that in
yeah,
their life.
No, really,
freestyling, whether it was at school or, you just at home, like, maybe I can actually do this. But yeah, I think everybody had that one phase.
Saying some dumbass shit. That's for sure.
So we got time, we got coffee. Give me your third. Your last one.
Oh man. I want to say like the internal motivation. Like I feel like I really gotta like talk myself up sometimes. Because it's like hard to do anything. So I'm like, you know what, this is good for you. This is good for you.
Yeah.
Like you need this. And the reason there is any kind of resilience is because you need it. So like you have to find that in yourself and then do it,
Absolutely. I like that. Three great essentials. And the first one you didn't go too deep on because it was like that's a perfect answer. You do need time. Coffee. I'm not a coffee, like we were talking earlier, I'm not a big coffee drinker, but if that's...
Don't start. Just
don't start. I've been doing 34 years without coffee. So
yeah, hell yeah, good
I might try like a caramel frappuccino or something like at McDonald's just to be like, is it what people actually say it is? But nah, not coffee. Not a coffee. I'm a tea guy. So
I feel that.
So coffee, time.
I'm addicted to caffeine.
Yeah. Addicted to caffeine. All right, coffee will do that for sure. Yeah. Sure, great essentials for sure. We also like to do a thing over here called rapid fire questions, this or that. I'm not big into paintings and art and stuff like that, but I know you might know more of the answers than I do. So I kind of got some general things. So the Mona Lisa or the Sistine Chapel?
Oh.
They're both beautiful in their own right,
I mean, Mona Lisa was like the first 3/4 view portrait, which are hard, honestly, I would say.
Okay.
But, I mean, Sistine Chapel took so much time, and like the way that they had to paint Sistine Chapel. Low-key, I haven't seen either of them in real life, so.
True.
I don't even know, to be honest.
Okay, we'll keep it moving. Let's go Picasso or Van Gogh.
I would probably say Picasso.
Okay.
I enjoy Cubism.
Shout out to Cubism. Shout out to it.
I hope that.
Because all this is new to me, and it's like the words you're using are like, huh? But I'm learning as we speak. Like it's interesting.
Like,
it's very interesting.
blocky. Low-key though, I thought like time is so bizarre to me, and I thought that Picasso existed so long ago, but this dude didn't die until like, I want to say like
1817.
No, like 1970 or something like that. That's
What?
Googleable. That is Googleable. Can
See?
I want to Google like when did
let me know, because it's like I said, I'm learning stuff as you're talking.
I can't on my airplane run. But Loki, I'm gonna write in the comments what year Picasso died, because I feel like I'm not living up to my artistry if I don't know this. Okay. But
well, we'll come back to it for sure.
I don't really fall too heavy on the academic side of art. You know, like it's weird when you're an artist, because there's a lot more opportunity when you take this route of academia, where you study under this person, or like you go to this university, because they link you with the people who are already doing it. But like when you're self-taught, or like you don't follow that route, you're kind of like making the path that you want to take yourself, and then kind of figuring out who or what is gonna like perpetuate your career and the people that you affiliate with in your community, you know? Absolutely. It's kind of, I'm kind of getting off of the rapid question here real fast.
No.
But like, I mean, you think about like the Snipe Museum at Notre Dame. I mean, I don't know how many people have been there, or even the South Bend Museum of Art, but like we show up for each other's events that are art related, and I think that shows a little bit of the separation between like the academia and I want to call it the underground, but
and we're talking as if like you said, it's either being under somebody you're studying or doing it on your own, and are those the two different?
I would, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, because like when you go to like a certain school in Chicago, then usually the people who graduated from there and are off in like their successful careers, and they are now your alumni. So like you have that connection.
Okay.
And then through that, there are other doors that will open for you. But a lot of that comes with like putting in the money for the education, you know?
Correct.
So you're kind of paying for the connections in that realm.
Okay. That's cool. Absolutely. Do you like abstract art or landscape more?
Oh, abstract.
Abstract, okay.
I mean, landscapes are nice if they're massive. Like, I feel like if you can get, this is just my own personal opinion though. I mean, I'm not shitting on anybody that does either. But I do think that some abstracts can be like feel like a landscape as well. I like the open interpretation of abstract art.
Okay.
Yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Last but not least, do you like to do indoor or outdoor painting more? And we'll take let me say this too. The weather side, I know if it's a sunny day, if it's a nice day outside, not something like that. So when it comes down to an indoor or outdoor painting for you.
I mean, I am so attached to my studio.
Okay.
Like, but the thing is like I open up every door and every window and just leave it. So I mean, it's like I'm painting outside, inside. If I had like a what the hell is that thing called? Like a pergola? Is that with the?
See,
I
it's
don't
a
know
new word to me too.
Is that like where it has like the weird roof and then it's like a big circle or something like that?
But it's more so outside?
Yeah, or like some weird outdoor structure.
Okay.
Then I feel like I would definitely paint outside more.
But with your studio being your primary place,
yeah, but I go in and out, I feel like.
Okay, gotcha.
But I mean, doing everything for Yart. I mean, Yart took like 6 months, and we were in the woods. So I mean,
open space.
I mean, the installations, I have to be outside because I can't fit anything out my door.
Right.
Which is why I have a problem with doors. There's so many things that I have that doors just rub me the wrong way. But
and she says something about doors because I asked about her
tattoo
earlier.
That's why it's on there.
Door. But for sure.
I did that myself, like during the art process.
Self-taught, just like your art.
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable giving anybody else a stick and poke tattoo. It would be a dope lane to go into, though, doing tattoos.
That'd be cool. But you know you can do it. You know,
I don't know I can do it.
Not saying you're saying you're the best at it, but you've done it. So it's like, some people don't even reach out and do it. You did it. So.
Yeah, that's. Low-key, sometimes I need to think more before I do, even though I am an overthinker. That's like a weird spectrum of myself. There's a duality there. But,
you stay in a slow lane, but you want to do stuff. Does that make sense? Like you overthink things, but then when you overthink them, it's like you kind of pull back from it.
Yeah, it's almost like if I'm in the slow lane and then I come up to something that's going slower than the pace that I'm at, then I like speed up ahead and then I get back in the slow lane.
Get back into the slow lane.
Like,
yeah, because you're more comfortable in that lane.
Yeah. Man, but that's one thing I just wrote on my wall is like sometimes the things that make you feel comfortable aren't necessarily good for you or something like that. Getting used to being uncomfortable, pretty much.
Uncomfortable
is like what I'm trying to do and embrace as like a growing artist and person.
Yeah, getting out of that comfort zone for sure. Upcoming things you have working on for yourself, for the community. Well, however you want to put it. What do you have going on? I
am heavily debating on whether or not there's going to be another yard in 2022. That's what year we're going into, right? 2022.
Absolutely.
Dude, okay. This is my reservation. Okay, I think we already found a lot, and it's 12 acres, and I want it to become a 2-day event. Okay. Because last year there had to have been like 1,500 people, which definitely like exceeded my expectations beyond belief. Parking was a nightmare. You can ask anybody about that. And then there was one woman who was very upset that it was happening, and she started to mow her lawn and was like spraying grass at people that were walking by. I mean, it's kind of funny like thinking back on it now, but in the moment, like it was
What is she doing?
In all respect to her, we did not let her know that it was happening, and like it completely shifted the entire neighborhood. And there were cars literally down the whole block and like took up the whole library parking lot, took up like half of like Myers parking lot. And I didn't expect all that. I really didn't expect all that. So like this year, I don't want to do it again until I feel very, very, very prepared.
Has to be more structured.
Yes. And I need to get a committee together. So if you want to help out with Yart,
shout out.
Yes, please hit me up.
Speaking on it before 2022, for sure.
Yeah, really though. Okay. But I mean, I am geeked about the land, the amount of space, but the parking is gonna be an issue again.
It might blow up more than this year.
I think it's
going. You said 1,500?
Yeah, I mean, like the first year was in my backyard, so like there were maybe like 150 people. Okay. Second year, it was in Paul Herrick's backyard, which he's a ceramicist and he's also a teacher over at St. Mary's. Nice. But there was like maybe 400 people. And then this year, like
skyrocketed.
Crazy. Yeah. And so I just want to make sure I cross my T's and dot my I's before
it goes.
Right.
For sure. So that's your baby, Yart.
Yart is the baby.
For your prized possession, for sure. Anything other than Yart?
Oh, man.
Just continuing the painting. I know.
Yeah, I just wrapped up this series. That was The Persistence of Being. So like right now I'm in like an in-between space.
Sure.
Like I do that. I go into like, this is this mode, and then I'm like trying to find out what I'm doing. And then I go into this mode, and then that ends, and it's like, which is crazy because you like put all of this work in. Like, speaking on Yard specifically, but every show is like that. Like, you put so much work into this one day, you know, and then it's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, but which is what leads me to think that like the memories are the most valuable thing that you could have in this life, you know. And I think that that's why I want to take my time and like try to figure out the best way to do this, so that way it's like it lasts, you know.
Longevity for sure.
Even beyond the realm of the actual time that it took place.
Yeah. Something everybody can remember, like you said, for sure.
Right. But yeah, I wish I had something for you.
No, that's great. Hey, it's stuff you're working on. Like I said, this show is about you. It's about what you got going on. It's about, you know, how people can.
It's about you.
Oh, at the same time, I'm
everybody.
It is absolutely. Of course, on this show, I always like to give you your flowers. At the time.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Compliment you on everything you're doing, not only for yourself but for the community. And just keep going. And before we get out of here, just let the people know where they can find you, social tags, wherever Lauren Steinhofer can be found. So.
I'm on Instagram and Facebook. Yeah, and they're all just my name, Lauren Steinhofer. I'm not clever enough. Some people call me Frank.
Frank?
Yeah.
It's my first time hearing this.
Some people call me Lo. Anytime I see Jesus, he's always like, Low-ski!
Low-ski.
He's like, I'm gonna do your ad-libs.
There it goes.
Yeah, I'm not a rapper. I can't be a rapper.
But if you ever do, you know who the person for the ad-libs is, for sure.
Yeah, no, it's funny.
Cool. But yeah, anything other than that, definitely appreciate you once again for coming on.
Man, I appreciate you having me.
Having a great combo, letting the people know like who you are, what you're about, what you got going on, all the great stuff above, and it's just continued success to you in the future with everything you have going on. So we'll close it out like that. It's been another episode of Bruce Leroy Bar Report. Lauren Steinhofer is in the building, and we out. Peace.
Yeah. I still got that ace. You know I always got